Hi, thanks for coming. Today's topic that we're going to talk about is change. How do we create change? We have a myriad of things in our lives that we think should change, that we want to change. But the curious part about change to me is that even though we have things that we want to change, we fear change to the point where we avoid it. We claim to want change, but then when things start changing, we go back, or we resist change, or we complain about the way things are, and then when things start changing, we complain about the change, or we don't want the change to happen, or we resist the change. Well, a couple key points that I think all of us should be keyed into. Number one, change is a natural and mandatory part of nature, of the universe, of life. It has to occur. There's nothing that would live. There's nothing that would grow. There's nothing that would excel. There's nothing that would be benefited in any way, shape, or form if change didn't occur. There are many thoughts and theories, which I'm going to avoid right now, about the nature of time and the universe. Everything already happened, everything already exists. Time is just our way of experiencing it in a linear fashion. Change has to occur. Change always does occur. It's the only constant in the universe. Galaxies change, stars change, weathers change, plants change, animals change, we change, situations change, everything changes. Nothing stays the same. So, how much better off would we be if we didn't resist change, if we didn't fight change, if we didn't try to resist? And what's it all boil down to? Control. We think we can control everything. We try to control our jobs, we try to control our relationships, we try to control our partners, we try to control our kids, we try to control our dogs, we try to control all the elements of the situation. Oh my God, let's see, if we do this, this, and this, and this, then everything will go smooth and nothing will go wrong. If you think that way, something will always go wrong. The whole thing is that we don't have control over anything. All we have the control over is ourselves. The only thing that you can control, same with me, is us. What I say, what I do, who I decide I am or I'm going to be, what I decide that I'm going to think, how I'm going to act, what I'm going to make important. These are the only things I really have control over. Those are the things that I need to work to change. I don't need to change my partner. I need to change myself. I don't need to change my situation, my neighbor, my friend, my whatever. I need to change myself. I need to change the way I think. I need to change the way I am. I need to change the way I'm being. I need to change my perception. I need to change the way I'm looking at a situation. I need to change my choice. I was choosing to work at this job. I no longer choose to work at this job. So I'm going to choose another job and change. All of these things are things that if we look at them and we break them down, we can see. Let's use relationships because that's something most people can relate to. People get into relationships and what do? Love, 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 love one another, can't get enough of one another, want to be with that person, want to be with them on this, that, the other, glued at the hip, on and on and on. Once they get to that phase, they think that they're sure they're soulmates and they're in love. Then they move in, they get married, what have you, they get together, they spend more time together, and all of a sudden the things that before they were accepting, now all of a sudden those are problems. We start noticing the things that, hey, this bothers me, this annoys me, This is a bad habit. You know, I've never liked it that you've done this. And we start focusing, instead of on the things that we liked, now we focus on the things that we don't like. Now this person is irritating us. Now we're having spats, we're having wars, we're having little sarcasm. You know what I'm talking about, the off-the-cuff comment that we all make as a dig because we've been trying to get the other person to change, and they won't. All of that stuff happens in every single relationship and goes round and round and round and round. Ultimately, what we have to realize is that they didn't change, we did. We changed the way we felt about them, so we started treating them with less amour, with less enamor, with less kindness, with less patience. We changed how we were behaving because we thought we had a reason. We thought that they were not being fair, that they were not pulling their weight, that they weren't being understanding, that they were taking advantage of us, that they, whatever. Choose your story. It doesn't matter what you plug in. The bottom line is that we accused them of changing. Well, the change that occurred was in us. They responded to the change we made. So, we say we want change. We say, I used to work with battered and sexually abused women. They would come in telling me that they wanted to leave their husband. Okay. Right up to the point where they got away, and we've gone through all of the hassles and the headaches and the grief and the strength building and all, only to find out that they returned 7 times on average. This was hard for me to understand. What I learned was it's a psychological programming. We say we want change, that we can't take it anymore, whether it be our job or a relationship or a situation, but we are programmed, we are used to what's occurring. When we quit or when it stops, we have an emptiness, we have a void, we have something missing inside of us that we have to replace or that we have to fill the void. I can't tell you how many times people are upset and distraught over losing or ending a relationship that they came to me originally because they hated it and wanted out, or they hated it and were distraught by it, or they couldn't take it, or they couldn't stand it, or they were always complaining about it. And then all of a sudden it's over or taken away or ends and they want it back. The grass is greener syndrome, prime example of what I'm talking about. The point is that we have to accept and understand change occurs. We change partners, we change minds, we change people, jobs, friendships. All these things change. It doesn't mean we have to be upset. It doesn't mean we have to be bothered. Yes, we can be sad, we can be melancholy, but the bottom line is that we have choice in how we respond. If you kind of understand the circles of life, and if you study these teachings enough, what you'll realize is everything has its season. Biblically, all things come and all things go. Everything that you experience is something that you are in because there's something to learn. There's something for you to know. There's some benefit to you. There's something for you to do to benefit someone else. Everything in life has meaning and purpose. Just because we're not aware of it, just because we don't know what that is, doesn't mean that it's not there. And so what I'm explaining is that the reason change has to occur is because we won't grow without it. The reason we have to have a new relationship, well, how many times have we gone into a relationship and then been broken up with or devastated and heartbroken, only to find out that once we let ourselves heal, 6 months, a year later, there was another relationship that was even better waiting in the wings. Job. How many times have we quit or lost or been fired from a job and thinking, oh my God, what am I going to do now? Only to find out that we ended up changing careers or getting a new and better job or on a new path, and something that would have never happened had the other not happened. This happens every single day. Think about your own life. Every single thing I told you earlier in my About page about my experience, what it showed me was every single thing that I thought in my life was bad actually seemed bad at the time because of my perception, because I was looking short-sightedly at what was going on, and my thoughts were, oh my God, it's going to be like this in the future. Fear, would have, could have, should have, or I'm afraid, what if, that kind of thinking. Every single thing that you look at in your life that is seemingly bad has good. It ends up having a positive outcome. It ends up you end up meeting someone that you never would have met had that not happened. You end up being at the right place in the right time to get that job, that opportunity, to help someone, to meet someone, to see something, to reunite or reconnect, whatever, on and on down the list. There's meaning and purpose, reasons. There are no accidents and there are no coincidences. Everything happens for a reason. We just have to be able to figure out, sift through the emotions and the thoughts and all of the things that we go through when they're happening to us, and come to see and understand and believe there's a reason, there's purpose, there's good. Something is going to come out of this that will be of value to me or others, and you just have to believe it. In that way, I've come to the point where anytime change occurs, I get excited about it. I'm like a kid in a candy store. It's like, yes, get to learn something new, get to experience something new. Or I'm like, this ought to be fun, this ought to be interesting. Always looking for what's good to come, because the universe does not punish us, it does not torture us. We do that to ourselves. We're the ones who are the perceivers. We're the ones who have sight and thought and emotion, and we decide what everything means. We decide if our flat tire is, oh my God, I can't believe this makes me so mad, or, wow, I had a flat tire. I wonder if I just got saved from an accident, or I wonder who I'm going to meet along the side of the road. It's a matter of perception. It's how you look at the problems. I just got fired. You probably didn't like the job, or you would have been doing a better job in the first place. Or you are now you're free to go do what you wanted to do. Start your own company. Launch your own practice. Do the things that you're meant to do. Here's the problem with life that I find. Most of us do what we think we have to, not what we truly want to. If you can imagine how many people are out there doing what they don't love to do, doing what they don't want to do, living an empty, meaningless life that is filled with nothing but drama and grief or boredom, a lack of heart, a lack of enthusiasm, a lack of excitement. Why do you think you see people at your job that are the bah humbug, or that are negative, or that are gossipy? Because that's all they have to do. And all of this becomes like a cancer, because we end up infiltrating, we get the negative mind going. Our work environments become vicious and no fun. Our lives become mundane and unfulfilling. We end up becoming couch potatoes, watching TV, gaining weight, arguing with our spouses, or looking for fun in all the wrong places. All of these things we humans do all the time. All I'm here to do is not to judge, but to say, what do you choose? What do you want to do? What change do you really want to make in your life that is from your own heart, your own soul, your own spirit, for your own desire and being and well-being? And I'm saying just think about those things. And if something bad does happen, if something changes and it's not good for you, at the moment, ask yourself, what possible good could come from this? You may not be able to see it at the time, completely understand, but watch for it. Expect that something good is going to come, and watch for it. All of this is the faith that we were taught to have. The faith of the mustard seed can move a mountain. If you will only have it, you will see that it will come true. Watch your own mind, watch your own thoughts. Be careful not to get into the negative mind and the what-if type thinking, because that's fear, that's not love. Anything that goes against love in your mind, in your heart, and in your body is probably not going to do you any favors unless you're running from a wild animal. But other than that, change is necessary and a natural part. And if you want to change, you can look at the website. I put down 7 easy steps. They're very simple and very straightforward. It's not rocket science. It's just basically reprogramming new behaviors, new thoughts into our mind and into our habits. So with that said, until next time, have a great day.